Alright, ladies and gentlemen, as the chat points out, that introduction, especially for lip readers, as we go into game number 3, this series very delicately poised here on Cloud Kingdom as we move into the bottom left-hand side of the map, spawning as the red Protoss player. We have, representing Team Dignitas here, the UK's very own BlinG. His opponent going to be spawning in the top right, winning game 1 very convincingly with fast blink, but losing game number 2 to BlinG himself, as BlinG used... Oh my goodness, this is going to be so confusing, as BlinG used it very, very effectively on Ohana. But what's going to happen on this particular map? We have, representing ATN, it is Socke. Alright, this is a very delicately poised series. I mean, Socke used 2 different strategies. He was correct in thinking he wouldn't be able to get away with winning the game with very fast blink in game number 2. However, BlinG decided to do effectively just that. He went for the blobs play with the Blink Stalkers and the Observer on Ohana. And Cloud Kingdom is actually another map that it's not too bad on, because if you take a look at the sheer amount of cliff face around the main base, it can really be very frustrating. So all of these maps have been quite decent for Blink Stalkers. There are also a lot of nice artifacts out in the middle of the map where you can sort of blink back up onto cliffs as well, that are just generally quite pleasant for that sort of Twilight Council play. So I wonder if we're going to be seeing any sort of blink on blink action in game number 3. In the meantime, we have only got the 1 gas, of course, from both of our Protosses at the moment. Going to be grabbing that second one a little bit later on if they intend on teching up. Not too much to note at this moment in time. Their builds are fairly identical so far. I know we have a lot of players cheering for Socke at the moment. A lot of European watchers, but we also have a lot of UK people cheering for BlinG here on the stream as Socke takes his second gas. BlinG once again opting not to take his second gas quite as early as Socke, just about 10 seconds behind, I would say. And that just gives Socke a little bit more flexibility over when he's going to be going for that tech. He'll be able to... BlinG will have to react to Socke, but I don't think he's going to mind too much, as once again, this probe going to be as annoying as humanly possible, trying to block these probes from mining the close... mineral patch here, and he's doing a fairly good job here so far, until unfortunately he decides to take one of those minerals in his little beaky probe mouth. So he's going to be moving out there in just a moment as we see Socke going up to that second gateway. BlinG once again not opting to go for the second gateway. We could be seeing some immediate tech from him. We're not sure. He's probably not going to show it while Socke still has a probe in his base, though. And now that that probe is gone, and we have got a Stalker exiting the gateway, we could be seeing BlinG's early game plan revealed to us. Is he going to be going for some sort of quick tech? Will we see a fast Twilight Council? Are we going to see that robotics facility go down? Could we even potentially see a Stargate? This is a map that I've seen PvPs go Stargate on occasionally, although admittedly not too often, but Phoenixes do have a lovely time sort of moving through these cliff areas and coming in to try and sweep up some probes. So it's not out of the realms of possibility, and it looks like BlinG is going to be going for that robotics facility. So staying true to the style we initially saw on Ohana in that last game. He hasn't seen anything of Socke at the moment, though. We can take a look and see that Socke is actually going up to a third gateway at the moment. So still no decision on the direction that Socke will be taking as far as tech is concerned. And he sees that a Stalker is out in the middle of the map with a probe. And that's actually going to be really key, because Socke saw the probe as well with his Stalker, and that's going to make him think, well, hang on a second, there's some sort of early game aggression coming out of BlinG here. I really need to shut this down as quickly as I possibly can. So that's why he's moving forward with all these Stalkers right now, and BlinG is perfectly content just to move back to his natural expansion area and defend from there. We have got the Twilight Council now coming down from Socke. So he is, in fact, going to be going for the Blink play. Like we mentioned, it's going to be reasonably good here on a map like Cloud Kingdom. BlinG going for another 2 gateways as well. And we have an Immortal being chrono boosted out. So this time, BlinG is going to have an Immortal comfortably by the time Blink is completed. I wouldn't be surprised if we got a second one as well. That's going to make him relatively safe indeed, doing so much damage against those Blink Stalkers because they are, of course, armored units. So we have got a pylon going down on the low ground now for Socke. It looks like he's getting pretty serious about this potential push. Is BlinG going to use a force field at the ramp? It looks like he's decided he doesn't need to at the moment, and that might be the correct decision. He feels completely comfortable against Socke right now, but he hasn't actually seen that there was a pylon on the low ground here, so has to be just that little bit careful. Now, there is no observer, so there is no high ground vision for Socke at the moment, so he just has to continue poking and prodding at the ramp, and BlinG is now going to be moving in with his observer, sees that the Twilight Council is researching BlinG, and he's going, aha, hang on a second, I know exactly what's going on now, and look at this, just spreading his stalkers out a little bit, waiting to see if a BlinG is going to be forthcoming. Second Immortal now out as well, and he must think he has enough firepower to push out, but he really needs to catch this forward pylon if he wants to completely repel this attack, and it looks like Socke is going to be forced out of the natural expansion location. BlinG still has not seen this pylon, needs to be very, very careful about that, and Socke is actually taking this opportunity to expand. So BlinG wants to use his Stalkers and his Immortals to punish this expansion from Socke, but the problem is that he knows that Socke is going for BlinG. Now, if Socke goes for BlinG and BlinG moves out of his base, Socke might be able to run in and just blink up, and BlinG would suffer catastrophic damage. So he can't afford to push out at the moment, which is why he's not trying to punish this expansion. And Socke looking like he's moving in for a bit of a kill here. A couple of Stalkers go down, one Immortal does disappear for BlinG, just going to be chilling out there on the ground. And does BlinG now see the forward pylon? Yes, he does. So he knows the pylon is here. Going to be putting a pylon of his own on the high ground, but still no observer out for Socke. He's instead going up 2 additional gateways and just going to want to try and get an economic advantage. He really wants to just use this opportunity to pressure BlinG, to force him to stay inside his own base so that he is free to do anything he wants to on his half of the map. And that means that this is now a ticking time bomb as far as BlinG is concerned, because he is on one base to his opponent's 2. And eventually his opponent will be able simply to get a lot more money and be able to overwhelm him with units. So he needs to try and punish this expansion or take his own expansion before such an opportunity where Socke will be allowed to get that economic edge. We now have the observer, I think being, no, not quite being sniped off there, just sort of chilling there on the high ground. And BlinG is forcing Socke back to his own base, but don't forget the natural expansion is now slowly being saturated with probes. If we take a look at the income tab, Socke is mining considerably more than BlinG is at the moment, so BlinG needs to do a tremendous amount of damage with this here push. He's going to be taking out the destructible rock so that this sentry does not get good force fields off, prohibiting that entire army from moving up. In fact, he doesn't have enough force fields to do the entire ramp, I think, and now BlinG might want to think about moving up. He is up to 71 supplies. Socke is at 68, 24 to 30 workers. So Socke does have an economic lead, but BlinG has the army advantage. We have Guardian Shield going up now. This is serious business, ladies and gentlemen. Blinking forward, and there we go. A probe's being pulled from Socke as well. He knows if he holds this, he might be okay, but there's just so much going on here. The Immortal not quite getting targeted down as much as he would like, but BlinG able to push himself forward. A lot of those probes dying, and I think Socke is going to be going down in game number 3 after going 1-0 up. It looks like BlinG might be able to complete the reverse sweep here and get back this series 2-1. The worker count is currently 24 to 19, so BlinG with the advantage, and the expansion is now forfeit. Not even going for it, blinking up to try and completely destroy these Stalkers, one-shotting them at the moment, and I think Socke is now about to die. He is on 25 supply to the 51. The Stalker count is dwindling. GG, and Dignitas BlinG, ladies and gentlemen, wins the series 2-1 after going 1-0 down to Socke. An incredible game, and well played to our UK Protoss player.